What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast with me, Cakeeater1991, and also the fabulous Mrsfik93. And today is a big day in the Twitch Spotlight podcast. We have a very own Twitch partner and country artist singer and everything else under the sun, Mr. Grayson Roberts. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. It is a big honor and a huge pleasure to have you on tonight. And this is going to be a great time. First off, what you got under the cup there?
This is just some good old H2O.
Good. Can never
My
go wrong with some
my
good old high quality H2O.
yes, sir. And my good pink Advanced GG's cup.
Well, that's what I was asking because
Yeah.
got to be rocking that Advanced GG. That's some good shit.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm a little biased myself because I am also partnered through Advanced GG and
Oh, let's go.
amazing people, amazing products. But we're not gonna be here to promote our Advanced GGs or anything. We're actually here to interview you as a person, as a streamer, as a whatever the hell you want to be right now under your hat. So let's just kind of get going, and also everyone in chat. Hopefully, you guys are all doing fantastic, and glad that each and every single one of you are here tonight. So, Grayson, kind of tell the people who you are.
Yeah. So I was born when I was a little kid. I was born in Virginia. Grew up in Virginia until I was about 5. Moved to Pittsburgh. Lived in Pittsburgh for a while. Hence the Steelers blanket in the background there. Lived there for about 8 years, and then we moved to Florida, and graduated and all that good stuff, and had some family things going on right when I graduated, so I decided to leave Florida for a little while and move to Pittsburgh and move back to Pittsburgh, and that's when I found out that I could sing. Never knew I could sing, and so while that whole year living in Pittsburgh, I was honing my craft in the music world, and doing everything I could to learn to sing and learn how to perform and all that good stuff. And then went back to Florida for about a year after that and started a band and started touring and writing my own music and all that good stuff. And moved here with my wife about 6 years ago here in Nashville. Got 2 little girls, writing, recording, full-time streamer. Started my own podcast on YouTube.
Let's
So
go.
got a lot of things going on, and that's pretty much a very very long story short.
So,
What originally got you into streaming? Like, what made you want to take that dive from the entertainment as far as music goes and switch over to game streaming?
putting some headphones on.
Did she say that? Could she repeat that? I didn't hear her through there.
Yeah, yeah. I was saying, what made you want to go from from the music into streaming? Like, is it like were you like a really huge gamer and you just decided to try that out, or was there anything that influenced you?
Yeah. Yes. So I'm still doing music, writing and recording here in Nashville and stuff like that, playing shows. But when COVID hit, it kind of put a humongous damper on the music industry. And for artists like myself that aren't exactly household names, I like to call myself a B artist. I'm the guy that usually, you know, the big artists call and they're like, "Hey, would you mind, coming out on a few shows and all that kind of stuff?" But I'm not the number one guy. You know what I mean? Maybe one day, but not yet. But for artists like myself, during that time, if you weren't a big artist, it was really, really hard, and it still is recovering. So at that point in time, I was like, I got to figure out a way to continue to build my brand and build everything that I'm doing. And obviously, at the time, in the heat of COVID, I mean, everybody was playing video games and Warzone and everything like that. And so I was like, well, I'm playing so much Warzone right now because we're just stuck in the house. I was like, I might as well just start streaming. And so I did, and I kind of just anytime I do anything, anytime I decide that I'm going to do something, I always go head first at 110%. So just dove in head first and started grinding on it and working hard and all that good stuff. And so now 2023, I'm doing both full time, which is a headache, but also fun and a blessing. So it's been good.
Yeah, sounds like you got
Definitely.
a lot on your plate there, man.
Yeah, for sure. But it's fun. You know what I mean? It's fun to try and grow your brand, and it's fun to put out content. And it's fun to stream, and it's fun to write music and sing and play shows. So
Right.
it could be worse. So
Well,
For sure.
well, if you weren't doing any songwriting or streaming or family or video games or anything else you got going on your big plate, what kind of other hobbies you got going on?
I'm a big outdoors guy. Love to go outdoors. I feel like that's a cliche thing, but it really is. I love the nature. I love here in Tennessee. I mean, we got waterfalls on waterfalls. We got mountains. Then
On top
I
of
live
mountains?
yeah, and then like 15 minutes from the city. So get a little bit of both there. And then I'm a huge football guy. So
Hence the Steelers.
right, yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
and then obviously my little girls are a huge part of my days when I'm not doing anything now. Got two little I got two not little. Got two dogs here that I like to play with and walk around and stuff like that. So I stay busy when I'm not do normal things.
Definitely. I know how that goes. I got dogs myself and kids, and they keep you busy. So definitely a lot going on. So going back to like the reason we do these podcasts, one of them is to talk to streamers about how they are going on this journey as far as how they're growing, how they're building their brand up. So what are some ways that you network that might help out other streamers? Like, do you have any tips for networking and promoting your stream?
Yeah. So in my opinion, I think in today's world, it's very very oversaturated. Everybody wants to do it. This is something I always tell anybody that comes to me for advice. It's very very oversaturated. Everybody in their grandma and mom and everybody wants to be a content creator nowadays, and they're doing it. You know what I mean? And so how do you I think the thing that streamers need to ask is how do you continue to grow and continue to market yourself and continue to be able to stand out in some way whenever. I mean, you could literally scroll for probably 5 hours on YouTube or TikTok on shorts of content creators and never come across the same one again because there's just everyone doing it. You know what I mean? And so I'm always the believer to try and figure out what everyone is doing. Like, what is the mass of streamers doing and content creators doing? And then I do that, and then I try and do other things that they're not doing. And for me personally, everybody has their own opinion on it, but I try and get to know as many content creators as I can. I try and get to know as many streamers as I can. I'm always trying to hop into streams. I'm always trying to talk to people every day. But I can also come from the music world, where the music industry is in the entertainment world in itself is literally based on the people you know, and building friendships and relationships. And so I've just taken that mindset into streaming, and that's what I tell everybody. It's if you do it the right way, if you network the correct way, you make friends and you meet people anyway, and that's super dope. And you build relationships.
Meet some amazing people that way, all over the world.
100%.
And a lot of people, a lot of and I'm not throwing shade, but it's just because a lot of people don't know is a lot of times streamers and content creators think when they hear network, they automatically bunch networking up with a follow for follow or support for support, where in reality that's two completely different things. Like, if you're actually truly networking the right way, you're meeting people, you're actually having conversations with people, you're learning about them. Whereas, if networking was follow for follow, it'd be like me going to a Nashville event here in town at an IRL networking event, handing someone my card, not saying a word to them, and just leaving. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
That's a good. That's
could
wow.
you
That's a
imagine
good
that? Like, if I
example.
went
That's a
to
great
can you
example.
imagine if I went to a real life event? Because that's all. I'm sure you guys know is all entertainment cities have literal networking events like in real life. You go to a building and you just start meeting people that
Yep.
you've never met before in your life. That's and I've told people that and they're like, "What, really?" I'm like, "Yeah." But imagine me going there, handing them my card and not saying a word, or handing them just be like, "Hey, can I have your number?" Like, "What's your name?" Like, "Oh yeah, sorry." You know what I mean? It's like
I'll give you your.
and it's the same thing as far as on the online world and streaming world. It's like, don't just be like, "Hey, I followed you." You know what I mean? And expect to follow back because it's not going to work. So I say do everything you can, do all that people or everyone else is doing, shorts, all that kind of stuff, and then some. That's what I always say. So
Definitely.
Yeah, those are some really good points. But before we go any further, there's someone up in chat that says you're not actually a Steelers fan; you're a Raiders fan.
why? Who said that?
I don't want to put out names, but he's not too far, not too far from the end.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Oh goodness. Okay. Well, yeah, no, going back to what you said, I really like that the way that you put that. It's like going to a business event and giving someone your card and not saying a word. Like that is a perfect analogy for follow if I ever heard one. It really is. And that's exactly what it is. That's we're doing the networking stream tomorrow where we actually teach people how to network their streams and
Yeah,
everything.
100%.
And
It's definitely it's like I said, it's anytime I say the word network in the stream world, I either get people that understand it or I get people that start like freaking out on me and hating on me and all that kind of stuff. It's like I'm just trying to, you know what I mean, do what I've
yep.
always
Oh yeah.
done,
No.
So
We believe it. We get quite a bit from we do these community events, which are the networking streams, and we get quite a bit of hate for it. But at the same time, we get a lot of people that come to us and are like, "Hey, you know what? I wouldn't know these things that you taught me if you hadn't done this stream." So you got to remember, like, there's always going to be like those haters, but there's people that you're helping too. And I've been in your streams and you help you give advice during your stream and help out a little bit, and that's what really like shown out to me because I was like, wow, he really likes to help out these other streamers that maybe don't really know what networking really is, and they're just kind of stuck in that rut where they feel like follow for follow is the only way that they're going to be successful, and they don't understand that you have to put some like substance behind that follow. You have to put something there for people to remember.
Exactly. Yeah, I've seen on Facebook on these Facebook groups like a couple months back. I haven't seen him in a while, but hey,
No. What? Well, thank you for that.
yeah. Well, anyway, I came across this guy and he was like, "Hey, I have 6,000 followers. You want to do follow for follow?" Like, congratulations, you 6,000 followers, but out of those 6,000 people, how many of them do you still follow? How many of how many of those 6,000 people, if you actually still follow, how many of them do you
Or how many
actually
do you watch, you know?
exactly? So
Yeah.
it's just a dead follow. It doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And people don't get it, and but at the same time, I'm under the mindset that, hey man, like, their channel at the end of the day. If they want to do, that whole thing, and ends up working for them, more power to them. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna be those people that, and I'm not saying you guys are at all, but I see people on Twitter all the time like shaming people for doing different things. Like, man, like at the end of the day, it's their business. You know what I mean? And it's their channel. And if they want to do that way, and and if I've given the advice not to, but they do it anyway, then so be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I just,
Exactly.
man, like there's just so much like streamer shame on Twitter. I'm just tired of it. You know what I mean? I'm just so sick of it.
well, with
It
anything,
really is. It's ridiculous on Twitter. I've been on there I've been trying to build up my socials lately, and I've been on Twitter and I've been seeing it, and I'm like, what in the world is up with that? Like, why can't we all
Yeah.
just learn from each other and go down this road together instead of trying to throw rocks at each other every time someone does something a little different?
right?
That's
It's hard
exactly it.
because
God.
As soon as someone does something different than someone else,
Exactly.
yeah, then they're all frowned upon, and oh, you shouldn't do this because my way is the only way, and that's just how some people are taught. Once they get something in their mind, that's it. You can't change their mind. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's their way or no way.
Yeah.
But
About everything
yeah,
nowadays. It's wild.
yeah. But when it comes to streaming, we all should learn from each other and take notes from each other. And there are people that I actually been through some shit when it comes to this stuff, like seeing the results of follow for follow or followers only chat or whatever have you.
Sure. Right. Absolutely.
But just
Absolutely.
because you have a different
100%.
opinion, yeah, just because you have a different opinion than other people doesn't mean that they're wrong. It's just a
Yeah.
different, it's just a different opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. 100%. I think it's just annoying, especially because Twitter is like my main source for streaming. I would say
Hmm.
my Twitter is my main source for like streamer content and streamer tweets and stuff like that. Whereas like my Instagram, my Facebook are more music. I
Oh.
definitely see it all in on the Twitter world. And I mean, I had a video made about me last year that saying I was a terrible person by some
Huh?
guy.
No shit.
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh
exciting. It's fine,
goodness.
whatever.
Wow,
But
no kidding.
Someone they made an actual video, like, wow. That
yeah, one hundred
wow.
percent. Yeah,
People will do
100%.
anything for
They were saying
content
that I'm a
though,
terrible person and that if he had a big reach,
Jesus.
It
I would have been a little more upset. But
probably
yeah,
reached like 5 people, and 4 of them were probably him.
Jeez.
it's
Yeah, but the bigger you get, the more you're gonna see it, unfortunately,
Hmm.
like the more that you grow, the more
oh,
haters can
100%.
come through. What's a good way, in your opinion, to get more active chatters? That's a question from Darth Tater in the chat.
That's a good question. For me personally, I usually don't play a whole lot of games until the end of my stream. That's not for everybody, but my favorite thing is just talking with the chat. Like literally just chatting on. People come in, ask how their day is. They tell me, I tell them how my day is, what's going on in my world, and then conversation just kind of brews naturally. So that's what I do. And then, as it dies down and then we, lose conversation, which eventually happens, which sometimes it'll go for 2 hours, 3 hours, who knows. Then I'll jump into a game and, do some game content and all that kind of stuff or music content. But also, I would say, make incentives in your stream, whether it's you doing something goofy or something crazy or, whatever. You can do giveaways, all that kind of stuff. I do a lot of giveaways. I know when I first started streaming 2 years ago. It's 2 years ago in April. I didn't. I was new to it all, so I was kind of I actually kind of felt bad whenever people started like throwing like mad subs and bits. I was like, I literally felt bad. I was like, I don't understand what's happening here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Oh
understand
yeah.
what's going on. So eventually, I decided I was like, I'm gonna do like giveaways every month. Like, I'm gonna try and like give back any way I can. So I do that as well. I do giveaways as well. So, but at the end of the day, I mean, you know, in this is just like I said, everything I say is just my opinion. But I think in today's world and content creation and streams, if you're a small time streamer, I hate saying that, but that's the only way I know how to say it because everyone knows what it means. Um, the people want to get to know you as a person and who you are.
Yeah.
Like for gameplay, like if I want to go watch somebody play Call of Duty, like I'm gonna go watch Tim the Tatman. Like that's what I'm gonna go watch. Um, if but that being said, you can't get that IRL interaction with Tim. You know what I mean? So what do people do? They try and find other people they can actually talk to and
Mm-hmm.
relate to and interact with. And I feel like that is very important for content creators that are trying to be on the rise in today's world.
Definitely. We got one more question in chat. They're asking, who is your favorite streamer to watch? Ooh, I got a good follow-up question for that too. So.
My favorite's Tim the Tatman. I just watch him because I think he's hilarious. His sense of humor just is my sense of humor as well. So I love to watch Tim.
Yeah, he seems like a
That's
pretty
awesome.
genuine dude. Like what you see on stream is what you see out in the world.
Down
And
to earth, bro. Down to earth for sure.
yeah, and
100%.
those are yeah, Tim the Tap Man, they're Burger Town. There a lot of people first start on Twitch like this is a character that you're playing like on a YouTube video or whatever, and then out in the
Mm-hmm.
world you're something else. But
Yeah,
people can see through that shit.
100%.
Yeah.
Just be
Definitely.
you. Just be you on stream as you are off stream. If you have energy, put it into your stream. If you have a sense of humor, put that into your stream. People will love it. People will appreciate that.
Yeah,
And
with
Yeah.
and
once
Absolutely.
yeah.
yeah, and I think he is definitely one of those people that's really genuine. I haven't met him. I'd love to. I think he's a Tim the Tatman for the next. Yeah, that would be
That'd be
something
lit.
they're cooking. That would be amazing cookie if we can get Tim the Tatman. But baby steps, buddy, baby steps.
Right.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd like to meet him, kind of pick his brain a little bit because he's been full time on Twitch. He's doing full time on YouTube and making YouTube videos and streaming on YouTube and other shit like that. He just blew up.
That's
And I think he
awesome.
blew up because of his personality and who he is. Because he's not
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
like he even will tell you he's not the best player. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I say like it's so important for people to whenever like content creators are trying to grow and do it part time or full time or whatever. It's you got to just like you said, you got to be you and not be afraid to show the chat and the world who you are as a person. Because I always say, there's only one you in this world, and that's
Hmm.
super dope. I mean, there's how many 7 8 billion people, and there's only one you. Like I always just
Boom.
think about that. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that's what a lot of streamers like. They really need that. They really need that exposure, and that's all that they really need for their stream. You got some streamers that are still streaming to one or two people, but they've got these personalities that you just know when you watch them that they would be huge if more people knew about them. Like I get that feeling from a lot of smaller streamers that
Hmm.
we talk to because we talk to them all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, so when it comes to video games, what you mentioned Warzone earlier, is that like your kind of go-to game, or you play Wii Sports? You've been playing with some Tetris. What is your kind of go-to game right now?
It's been Warzone for the past 3 years. Um, I'm kind of burnt out on it, to be honest. I think they've kind of let down the community a little bit. Personally, um, it's just not as fun anymore. I still play it because I got friends that play it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Warzone 2 is definitely not nearly as good as Warzone 1. So I still play it here and there. I play some Madden. It's crazy. My whole entire life, I've never been a wrestling fan until like last year. I've just been slowly like getting into it a little bit here and there, here and there, here and there.
Uh-huh.
And
That's my department right there.
so I bought WWE 2K23, and
Oh,
I've been having a blast with it. So I've been just grinding on that. And
doing the
actually,
My Rise.
it's fun. It's yeah, exactly my rise. And it's funny
Mm-hmm.
actually. I was streaming on I streamed on Twitch yesterday, and then I streamed on a different platform last night. And one of my chat was like, "How come you're not watching WWE right now?" I was like, "It's on," because that's how brand new I am. I was like, "It's on." So I went around, I went behind me, turned it on, and watched the ending of it. I was like, "Oh man,
Yeah.
definitely gonna have to watch it next weekend." So that's what I've been kind of playing lately, to be honest. And I think I might just be burnt out on shooters in general right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, someone in chat said something about Fortnite.
I
Uh,
played Fortnite one time, and it'd take a lot to get me on that game again.
yeah, Fortnite is.
Hey,
Yeah, Fortnite's a good game, especially no build. But just like Warzone or Minecraft or even Cooking Mama, it's just not for everybody.
Right, exactly.
Each.
or when you play it over and over and over again, it burn. I can totally understand the burnout because I'm burned out on a lot of games right now. So you get to the point where you like don't even like think about
And
it. Like, eh.
like I literally have not been burnt out on Warzone probably until like I don't know the past few months. So what is that? 3 years? Because Verdansk came out in 2020. So
Yeah, and then
it's a good
Caldera,
run,
and
Wow.
I
now.
guess. It's a good run. I mean, you can only have not everything can be Fortnite. You know what I mean? Fortnite's got a longevity that's insane.
So, do you prefer Caldera or the castle?
Um, are you talking about the new map, or are you talking about?
The new map, the new Castle Warzone map, or Caldera.
I like the new Castle Warzone map. But I like everything else about the last one better than this one. Movement, gunplay, the whole thing. But the map is better. I like this map a lot. It's unfortunate that everything else is no bueno.
Oh darn.
Yeah, I like Caldera myself, but
I didn't mind that map. I liked it. I mean that map got a lot of hate. I enjoyed it. It didn't bother me at all.
no, it was pretty solid.
Yeah, I
I'm not
thought
a
so too.
Warzone player myself. I'm more of a pubs runner myself, but I try to dabble in Warzone whenever I can.
Yeah.
I don't play any
They
Warzone.
brought
I
back
don't.
Vietnam
I'm not a
to
Call of
revive
Duty.
the game, but
uh,
yeah.
you guys don't want to see me play Warzone.
I barely want to see you play Fortnite, but we have to.
Shh. Be quiet.
It's okay.
Going back into getting back on track here. What would be okay? So I got two parts to this question. Okay, so if you could co-stream with any streamer, who would it be, and what would your dream sponsorship be? So we're talking about dreams.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a good question. Um, I have two streamers that I would probably pick. One is my favorite, and then one would be a business decision.
okay. So Tim the Tap Man.
Tim the Tap Man, and then Kai. Kai would be the business. Kai would be the business decision. Kai Sinat.
I'm not.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I'm not
that one.
familiar with him.
Oh, he just broke the Twitch sub record.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's the dude with the dreads.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I've seen TikToks.
He just broke like 350,000 subscribers.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Holy
wild.
moly. That's wild to me that people get that
Yeah.
many subs. That is just so insane. 350,000. That's a lot. Oh my goodness. And then what about
I was watching. He just did a subathon 30 days straight.
wow.
And I was watching it here and there, and everybody was gifting, but there were some people on his leaderboard that was like 2,000 gifted subs, 3,000 gifted subs. Like I was
Holy
like, bro,
moly.
who are these people?
Yeah, well, come to my channel. Holy hell.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you heard of my channel?
Yeah, yeah. Come check
I would
out
love to meet you.
Yeah, please come and check out Cakeeater1991 and Mrsfik93. That's for damn sure. Like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
that'd be fun.
100%.
And what would your dream sponsorship be, Gray?
Oh man, that's really good. Dream sponsorship. Trying to think.
Like, Activision, NFL.
I saw a tweet
Yeah, we
you
talking
did
about
the other
anything, or
day
we
that
talking
was
about
like
strictly in the gaming.
That doesn't matter. I'm gonna say it don't
it
matter.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a sponsorship
yeah.
to your brand. So whatever the hell you want it to be.
Yeah.
The Steelers.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I would love to partner with the NFL or the Steelers.
Start small with the
The
Steelers.
NFL, that would be
Yeah, exactly. Then branch out.
Yeah. And then go with the Raiders.
Oh my gosh.
I actually don't mind the Raiders.
Goodness.
As Steeler fans, we're not supposed to like the Raiders at all, but I don't mind them.
Oh, I totally feel that.
I feel bad for them though because they just lost a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Oh really?
Well,
I don't.
at least they're not the Ravens and lost to Lamar Jackson, but we don't really talk about that.
Yeah, very true.
That's a conversation for a different day. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Uh,
Well, what else do we have here? Okay, here's a question for you.
Who else
What
would
was
it be
the
for?
very first? Shut up, Kate. What was your very first video game? The very first video game you played?
Very first video game ever, I believe was, well, the very first console video game I ever played was Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
You remember the
yeah.
Super Nintendo?
Yeah, I remember the Super Nintendo. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Age us.
was
Put
lit.
an
I
age
had
on
like
us.
this I had a Street Fighter game for it.
ooh,
Nice.
Yeah.
Street Fighter is a very underrated gaming franchise.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Well, when it comes to streaming, obviously with family and going on tour, what is the hardest thing when it comes on streaming for you?
What's the hardest thing about streaming? Is that what you said?
Yeah, for you,
Yeah.
because obviously you got family and you go on tour probably for a couple months out of the year.
Yeah. I would say consistency right now. There's been different things that have been hard for me depending on what season we're talking about in life, but right now it's definitely consistency. And that's one thing that I tell people all the time. I'm like, man, if you can be consistent, do it, because there was a time when I was every single day, 10 a.m. We were almost averaging 100 people a stream. And now it's so hard for me to be consistent. Like I just right now in my life, I can only hit live when I am able to. And whoever sees the noti at that time comes through. Because of family, because of music. I got a lot going on in music right now, and I have that the pod on YouTube that we're trying to build too. So consistency definitely is the hardest thing for me right now, and unfortunately, it's one of the most important things. So
Yeah,
I've been
especially
trying to figure out a way to get back to being consistent. That way, people know to look for me at that specific time. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, consistency is a big part of it. So I have a question about Kick. How are you liking Kick so far? I'm just curious how that's working out right now.
I've enjoyed it. I've met new people on Kick that I haven't on Twitch, which is cool. A lot of my community has come over to support me over there. I've met a lot of people that just started streaming because Kick released, which means I get to meet new people as well there.
Oh wow.
My streams in general have been going well. So I've enjoyed it, personally. I know a lot of people have
Yeah.
their opinions about it, but I stay in my own lane as far as what I'm doing and all that. So
Okay. Yeah, I was just
yeah.
wondering because you've been on there for
How about you?
a couple days now, and I was like, I wonder exactly how it works because I streamed on it one time and I haven't hit affiliate or anything like that yet, so I don't know how it looks after, but my dashboard is awful empty. So
yeah.
so I was just wondering how it's going.
One, it definitely it definitely looks a lot like Twitch. I'll be honest. You know what I mean?
It really does. Mhm.
Um, people are wondering the sustainability or the future of it, I always say I have no idea. Like I have no idea, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I have no idea about Twitch either. You know what I mean? There's some wild stuff going on with Twitch right now as well. So it's just like I've told everybody I'm just trying to do my due diligence because say Kick takes off and takes over the streaming world, which I'm not saying it will, but there's always that possibility that that it could.
Yeah, we never know.
I don't want to be left in the I don't want to be left behind without building a presence over there if that does happen.
Absolutely. How do you feel about the discoverability over there? Have you met a lot of like new people like just from Kick, or is it mainly like your community coming over from Twitch?
Met a lot of new people, but also I will say that I also go out of my way intentionally to meet new people every day.
That's fair.
So on Twitter and other streams and all that kind of stuff. And then some of them come through. So I don't really. It's hard for me to say. It's always hard for me to say how many people are actually finding me
On
strictly
the
through
platform.
recommended lists and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, do you have any up and coming video games or new shows or movies that you're kind of looking forward to in the near future?
Are you talking about shows like on?
Like Netflix, Hulu, or video games or
There's a new show on Netflix called The Night Agent. I've only watched one episode, but it's already like super intense.
I heard decent things about that.
I watched one episode. It's really good.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I just finished watching Special Forces. I don't know if you guys watch that show at all, but that show is wild.
No, I have. I'm actually in the process of trying to find some new recommendations from my Netflix.
Yeah, I would
Cake's looking
definitely
for
say Night Agent for
recommendations.
sure. Night Agent. Special Forces was on regular TV. I mean,
Okay.
it was on the app. You can find it on the app of CBS, I think. But
Yeah, the wife and I are just on Hulu right now watching a Together show, but obviously me doing my own thing at work or whatever, I need to kind of have
yeah,
my own show to watch. So yeah, definitely need to look into those couple options. So
Definitely. And just to go back to streaming just for a moment, because I think I skipped one. So we talked about how you network and how what you would tell other streamers. What would be your number one tip? Like if like knowing the streamers that you know right now, like the beginning streamers that you probably talk to, what would be your tip to a newer streamer coming into this? You know, what would be your top part thing that you'd want to let them know?
um, first thing I would say is something I said earlier. Figure out what everybody's doing, and then figure out what they're not doing, and do both of those. I would say 90. To be honest, I would say like the majority percentage of streamers don't do networking. They don't know what it means, or they think it's evil, or just don't have the time, or whatever. And so that's what I would say. Plus, doing the shorts. Shorts are super important right now, obviously.
hmm
Yeah, shorts are
Um,
doing amazing.
and
I don't know.
yeah, and I would say have short term goals and long term goals. So important.
Okay.
It's perfectly fine to have long term goals like, hey, I want to be Twitch partner. I want to be at 2,000 subs a month or whatever your long term goal is. However, if you don't have short term goals, if you don't have weekly goals or daily goals or even monthly goals, and you just keep looking at the long term goal, it takes a long time to get to the long term goal. You're going to eventually burn out if you
Yeah.
don't have short term goals to continue to motivate yourself, saying, "Look, I accomplished this today. I accomplished this today. I accomplished this today." If that makes sense. Like I have a minimum number that I try and of people that I try and meet every day and have a conversation, at least a little bit of a conversation with. And so and if I hit that goal, then I'm like, all right, dope. I achieved something today, and then I'll go live and all that good stuff. So
I
well,
think that's a great piece of advice is the short-term goals thing because a lot of streamers really do they focus on the long term. They focus on, oh well, I want to get to 1,000 subscriber or 1,000 followers or I want to get to like this huge number and they get burned out before they ever get to it because they made such a large goal. I don't know. I thought that was really good. Okay.
yeah. Well, when it comes to your goals, obviously they all have to be attainable. It being your first month into streaming, be like, hey, I want to get to 2,000 followers. More than likely, that's not going to happen unless you do follow for follow. But majority of the time, set attainable goals that you know you can achieve, that you know you can do with a little bit of help and a little bit of outside.
and one thing that I always say is like I don't say anything to chat or any other streamers that ask for advice or musicians or artists that ask for advice. I don't ever tell them anything that I've never been through personally because I believe fully that like I can only speak on what I've been through and what I know. I don't try and like
hmm
beat around the bush and talk about things that I don't know about. One thing I can say is like I know firsthand what it's like to not have smaller goals. There was a good year to 2 years of my music career where I was just looking at that long term goal all the time and not having any short term goals. And eventually I burnt out and I stopped music for a good like 5 months. and then I reevaluated, got back into it, set small term goals, and started achieving things. Started seeing like, oh, I actually am accomplishing these things. I'm accomplishing things to get to that long term goal. So I can speak from experience. It's super important.
Yeah, having a goal in a stream
Definitely.
is very important. Like, it doesn't matter on what it is. Like, set a yearly goal, set a monthly goal, set shit, maybe even a weekly goal. Like, I want to reach 5 new followers this week. By the end of the month, I want to get to X amount of followers, or so on and so forth. It's very good idea, very good tip to actually have goals for a long term and a short term. People forget about the short term. So
Oh man, so many times.
yeah, so that's very good advice. So
Yeah, definitely.
so obviously you're a musician. You play the musics. So a lot of people play music in their background on the stream or anything. So do you personally play your own music on your stream?
I do. Yeah, I have a playlist, and I have my songs mixed into it. I used to play them a lot more, but to be honest, I kind of got tired of listening to myself, so I kind of I kind of started mixing it up a little more. But yeah, I play my songs on there from time to time. It's hard for me to vibe to myself. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right,
Yeah, this is cool. Yep, this is me.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yes, but that's
Makes sense.
but in a way that's also a way to get out your music. So it's still kind of a cool
100%,
idea.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why I do it. And like, I'm not gonna go. I was gonna talk about the
No,
guy I
no, go
was
ahead.
talking about. I was gonna talk about the
Go.
guy I talked about earlier, but I'm not going to. But yeah, that's a super important thing that I will always say as well. No one's gonna promote yourself as much as you, especially in today's world when everyone's trying to do. As far as this goes, everyone's trying to do the same thing. I mean, in the creation world, we all want to make it. We all want to be full time. We all want to be part time. So no one's going to promote yourself as much as you. And I see a lot of people like being afraid to self promote. I'm not talking about in other people's chats or anything like that. I'm talking about on Twitter and your stream and or your own stream and all that kind of stuff. I've had so many people that tell me like, "Oh, I just don't know what to promote," or "Oh, I'm afraid what people will think if I post that I'm live." I'm like, dude,
Then how
like
do you expect
That's
people to know?
crazy. Mm-mm-mm.
I don't
I hear
know.
it
I don't
though.
know.
He's right. He's
Yeah,
No
I know.
idea.
he's right.
I know, but I'm answering the question. Like, I feel bad for promoting myself, but okay, then how do you expect people to know that you're live right now?
Dude, it's
Like,
mind
it's
Yeah.
blowing.
it
It's mind blowing. It's mind
it's
blowing. I don't.
it is. It's more than just pushing go live anymore. Like, people that are even from Justin TV or brand new Twitch, you push go live and you can. It's like Kick now. You just
Yep.
push go live and you get some brand new people, and that's how people grow back then. But
Yep.
now, like you said, post COVID, everyone started streaming and everyone was getting their name out 3 years ago, and they're still going getting their name out. So it's more than push go live.
That's what gets frustrating. When like for me when I'm trying to help people and give advice and people are asking and stuff like that, and I tell them to self promo, or I tell them make sure you're networking or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I just want to grow organically." It's like you want to,
That is
like,
organic.
first of
Oh
all,
my
I think
gosh.
if you're actually truly networking authentically, that's organic anyway, in my opinion. But anyway, if I go to Twitch right now and go to just chatting, there's probably over freaking how many channels live? Like
Probably a lot.
how many people are actually gonna like scroll down until they find you? Like nobody. You know what I mean? Like no
Exactly.
Hmm.
one.
Yep.
No one. First of all, we're in TikTok world where it's like less than 30-second attention span nowadays. You know what I mean? And so like unless you're like all the way up there, it's like I mean you're just gonna hit live and hope for the best. Like I'm just I don't know. It's crazy, man. It's wild.
That's
What
exactly
people
what they
think
do, though. They
and
hit
how they
live.
think and stuff like that. And like we said earlier,
Yep.
no shade at all. But I just kind of feel bad because it's like you're not gonna meet a whole lot of people.
No, you're really not. But
Yeah, not.
yeah, you've been spitting a lot of advice, and so hopefully people are actually listening and understanding. Like you've been around the block probably a couple times, so you kind of know what the hell you're talking about.
I always say the entertainment industry as a whole is essentially revolves around the same thing. It's about who you know. It's about how many people you know. Whether it's streaming, music, film, Broadway, freaking production. It's about how many relationships and friendships you have. It's not about talent anymore. There's so much talent out there. I mean, shoot, even years ago, like when I was like grind and hustling in the music industry, they're like, dude, there's some of the best amazing singers out there that will never be found
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
because they just
100%.
don't know the right people. They don't have the right, you know, it's just how it is. And it's the same thing with streaming. Like you were saying earlier, Mrsfik, it's like you know some of the most awesome streamers that no one will probably ever know because they just hit live and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is true.
Well, a lot of
It's
people,
true.
yeah, a lot of people don't want to get big. They just actually want to do this as a side thing. They don't care about getting new followers. They don't care about getting new people, and they just
Oh,
actually
100%.
they
And,
truly just
and
want to stream and make the content. And guess what? That's fine.
yeah, and I always say that too. I'm like, if you're just doing this for like a hobby and you're just doing it for fun and you're doing it for like the pieces and the content and you don't really care about your live stream growing per se, I always am like, then do you? You know what I mean? Don't worry about getting out there and networking and stuff. Make those shorts and all that kind of stuff. But if you actually want people in your live stream chat, then
You got to do the
I
work.
think it's crucial.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, and we've got a lot. I don't know if you do any promoting in Facebook groups at all? You said you mainly do Facebook for like music, right? You don't really do Twitch on there?
I'm I'm trying. I have a pretty large Facebook following that's been following me for years for my music, but it's very very hard to convert a following from one platform to another. So, especially when like they're not gamers, they're music fans, you know what I mean? 'Cause a lot of them don't
Yeah.
understand Twitch. And they're like, "Oh, I don't game, so I'm not gonna go over there." It's like, well, it's a lot more than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
I
hard.
just ask because we get
If
a
I could get my
lot.
Facebook following over here, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, because Facebook is huge, huge right now for streamer promotions. They're huge right now for networking. We run a Facebook group actually that is for promoting and networking, and like it's a big part of like my own stream. I think Cake probably gets a lot out of it.
mm-hmm.
Like that's one avenue that is really I'm hearing the same thing about Twitter, but I haven't been on Twitter for very long. So I don't know how the streaming world is over there. I just know that I got like a million graphic artists following me after I made my next Twitter profile. That drives me crazy, man. I swear
Mm-hmm.
those things follow you everywhere.
Yeah, they are everywhere. They don't care.
It is nuts.
They
It is wild.
no, they'll
Um,
even make a fake Twitch account
funny,
and
funny
follow
enough,
you.
funny enough, the guy that I use actually is a dude who DM'd me, and I was like, I just happened to be in need at the time, and I looked at his stuff, and I was like, oh, he's actually pretty good, so I used him. So
Oh,
I'm not
Hey,
kidding.
hey,
well,
at
look
least it
here.
was good.
It's a lot.
Yeah, lucky.
You don't hear those success stories all the time. A lot
No.
of times you hear about people getting scammed and like these graphic artists, some of them are little sketchy.
100%.
That's why you just got to do your homework when it comes to anything, especially up on Fiverr. We've all been a part of
Oh
those
yeah,
Facebook
Fiverr.
groups
I don't know how.
where,
I was gonna ask you. You guys said you run a Facebook group. How you Mrsfik, you said you don't know how the Twitter world is over there. It's very toxic. Is that how Facebook is as well?
yes,
It depends on the group. It depends on the group. No, we keep a lot of toxicity out of ours, and we have a fairly large group. So it just depends on what groups you join and how well they're moderated.
that part is accurate.
Yeah, because some groups are not moderated at all, and yeah, there's toxicity like crazy. But then you have groups like ours that are very well modded, and we keep it all to a minimum. There's not a lot of drama. It's mainly just promotion, just getting people to network and to meet each other and getting them into each other's streams.
Yeah, and try to teach them the right way. Like, don't do follow for follow or support for support, like we said earlier, because all that shit is just dead views. Those don't do anything for you. Give them out your business card and then walk away.
Right.
What the hell are they? What are you? Are you garbage? Are you a bad singer? Or they don't know anything about you until they actually check you out.
Exactly.
Yep.
100%.
That's what we always like the
100%.
networking streams. We tell people like, this is your brand. You're going to sell your brand. When people are looking at their going live section, when they're looking at who's live on their Twitch, they're going to look at your name and are they going to say, oh, I remember them from, when I met them at the networking stream or when I met them at whatever, or are they going to scroll past it because you didn't make any kind of actual like impression with them? There was nothing there, so they're just gonna scroll past you. They're not gonna click on your name. They're not gonna come and watch your content. You have to make that connection and give them a reason to be curious.
Yeah, 112%.
Definitely.
Like Mrsfik talked about earlier, like a lot of these Facebook groups, they don't have anyone running it, so they have all these fake promoters, basic looking logo makers, and so on and so forth, all the porn ads and everything else like that. Like, I shit you not. And there are not many groups like ours that are actually take pride in our group. We want people to grow. We want people to succeed. And we care about what kind of people are brought into this group. So
That's kind of the difference with Twitter and them, though, because I don't think Twitter has groups or anything like that. Twitter is just kind of just individuals, isn't it?
You can do like retweets and other shit like that, but I don't think really any groups per se. I thought they did at some point.
You can create groups, yeah.
Okay, can you?
Oh,
okay.
you can?
Yeah, you can create
Oh,
groups,
okay.
yeah. It's not as, I feel like it's not as good as Facebook is with the groups part of it, but yeah, you can do it.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
I'm still learning Twitter. I'm learning Twitter still. I jumped on the bus way too late with Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, Twitter is just a great.
To be honest, I abandoned Twitter for a while, and I got back into it heavily whenever I started streaming.
Oh, really? And was it just the toxicity that you were getting away from? Yeah. Man, people
No,
stink
not at all. I
sometimes.
just thought it was dead, to be honest.
Oh, it was
Oh.
dead.
Like, I thought people were leaving Twitter, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, there was just so much for me to keep up with, because it was only me and like two other people that were helping me on with my socials, and I was just like, I feel like Twitter's dying, so I'm just gonna stop. And then like I started streaming, and I was just like, I saw people like talking about Twitter all the time, and I was like, Twitter is it still like doing well? And then
Yeah,
I
it
like
could be.
went into, and
But
then I
it
went
is.
into it, and I was like, I guess it's still alive. Now, if we want to talk about the state of Twitter right now, I got a lot of thoughts there, but
I don't think we got enough time for that out of the day.
oh
No, yeah,
goodness,
Twitter is
crazy.
interesting. It's one of those things though, you got to make a following. I'm telling people all the time, like, you got to hit your following on every possible platform you can think of and just make it a funnel, bring them all to the Twitch, just funnel them all in. And that's how you're going to grow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because it's more than just push go live, like we've been saying, and we have said, and we'll always say.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, definitely.
So, do you have any kind of up and coming tours that you can tell us, or are they all on your website? Or
I'm playing mostly in Nashville right now
okay,
and writing and recording music. With my girls being as little as they are, I'm trying not to go on the road because that's a grind and it's a long time away from home. So that's where streaming's really been a blessing, and the community has been a blessing. Is it's allowing me to not have to leave them, you know.
How
So
old are your
I
girls?
mean, I'm playing in Nashville quite a bit.
so how old are your kids though?
One is 6 months, and one is gonna turn 2 in May.
Oh Jesus,
Oh,
Yeah,
those are good ages.
cute,
Those
cute
are
little
good
girls.
ages.
The 6 month old is a breeze. I mean, she is the
really?
easiest baby. And honestly, our toddler is like pretty easy too. But they'll be all. It's cool. That's a good age gap. You know what I mean? They'll be close. I hope they'll be close and all that good stuff. So
Yeah, it should
Yeah,
be.
definitely.
yeah. Someone said the age is before evil.
Well,
That's
Yeah,
funny.
some
girls.
Don't
The
say
older
that.
they get, girls can get crazy. Girls can get interesting. It just depends. I have some pretty
No,
wild
but
ones.
well, yeah, yours are totally wild. They're thick.
I see. I
Yeah,
see
it's
a.
all
I see.
right.
I just wanted to acknowledge that Power Stroker is in here. What's up, Power?
Yeah, he's actually the one that talked about the Raiders earlier.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he put it in chat. Um, well, I think we are gonna wrap it up for tonight. It has been awesome talking to you, Gray, and I really, really, really appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us for this hour and talking to us about yourself and everything. It's been a really great learning experience. I think the people in chat will say the same thing. Like, I hope you guys were taking notes because we
Pull out
had
that
some good
notebook.
information here. Absolutely.
Get out
'Cause we
that.
got some good
Yeah.
information.
Well, you got some really good tips. So hopefully you guys definitely took those notes and come back.
I love doing stuff like this, so I appreciate y'all asking me.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. This was a great time, and we both truly appreciate your time and everything that you have said and did for us today. Truly appreciate it. Thank you.
100%, absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing.
Grayson, will you follow me if I follow you?
Jeez, Cookie.
Yeah,
Oh, Cookie.
that's hilarious. I like
That's
cookies,
funny.
so I'll just follow you anyway. How about that?
I mean, because follow for follow works, right?
Yeah.
That helps
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, that helps out. I don't know how many conversations
And
I've had with somebody, and once they are set in their ways, there's no changing them.
well,
Nice.
and Gray, you're going to be with us tomorrow for the networking stream, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
awesome. So we will see you tomorrow in this chat, so we can get that all started. And we're going to be rating out tonight's stream to Keefe's Corner. So y'all buckle up, and he's a pretty good time playing some Rocket League.
Ooh.
And I hope everyone has a great rest of their night. Thank you again, Gray. It's been an honor, and we're going to go ahead and raid out.
Of course, absolutely.
All right, guys. Hopefully you guys all have a great night. If you are listening on Spotify or other podcast services, make sure you give us a rating. And also make sure you give us a follow as well.